Let me describe the heat here in Houston. When you get out of your vehicle, it feels like you're putting on saran wrap all over your body. It's a stickiness. The overall temperature is one thing, but then there's not a lot of breeze. There is a very high humidity. I grew up in Houston all my life. I've definitely seen a shift in the weather since my youth. Us as children, our parents could tell us, hey, go outside and I'll see you at dinner time. Now, 18 years later, we have to have a lot of safety mechanisms in place to ensure that the kids can stay safe because it's a lot hotter at this time. The way that Heads Up Houston has really had a focus in the A-Leaf community really starts with the people and the relationships that we've built in that 12 years that we've been there.
We moved to A-Leaf at the advice of some people that I worked with in Alaska. They were from Houston and they told us to go to A-Leaf because it had the best school district. In the mid-'80s, I started to notice the summers were worse and worse. The weather became more erratic. As time has passed, the hotter periods get longer and longer, and the extremes in temperatures are more and more noticeable.
Having green spaces, having trees, having shaded areas, and having that relationship outside of our built environment with nature is so important for personal and community resilience. The communities that are most vulnerable have a high percentage of children. Seniors are very vulnerable. People who have underlying health issues are more vulnerable to heat impacts and heat-related illnesses. So across the spectrum, be it energy, be it water, be it human health and the quality of life, there's so much that heat has impacts on that we need to be planning for.
There is a huge lack of tree cover and shade in majority of apartment communities, especially around the parking lots. But what we have to utilize is what we have access to. Standing on that concrete, you can feel the heat coming from the ground, coming from the sun, all around you. The changing climate has changed the frequency that we feel comfortable putting the kids outside. We typically try to go maybe 35 to 45 minutes max, and then we're going to go inside and rotate to an indoor activity.
Communities where there is a predominance of impervious surfaces, communities that are highly built out, where you have a lot of multifamily residential buildings, not enough trees, those are communities where you start to see really the impacts of heat islands. And so you may have measured temperatures, say, of 100 degrees, but what is apparent to the heat index really is probably 108 or 107.
Planting the tree itself is the easy part. It's keeping it watered for at least 2 years because the heat from the roads and the traffic, it's not a welcoming environment to plant a tree. So we're trying to do our part by making A-Leaf look better and feel better at the same time. We couldn't have planted trees without kids in A-Leaf. Kevin and I were both members of the A-Leaf Super Neighborhood. So Kevin has been in on getting kids to help actually planting trees, and we've been partners in crime out here for a lot of community projects.
We were able to partner with Ms. Barbara and the A-Leaf Super Neighborhood to get the teens involved. We make sure that anytime there are tree plantings that are going on in the community, that our teens are aware and they're there. We go out and help to dig the holes, whether it be using augers. Anytime there is a tree planting, we want to make sure that our presence is felt and our support is given.
By the time we get finished with next season, it'll be 10,000 trees, at least. I lost count some time ago, but I think we've made a difference. I'm almost 80 years old, so I won't live long enough to sit under those trees. But in my heart, I know that it was a good thing for the community.
The City of Houston, in our Resilient Houston plan, has a very prominent goal for 4.6 million trees to be planted in the City of Houston by 2030. It is a lofty goal, but I think we need to have ambition. So the 4.6 million trees really, I think, fits the City of Houston's ambition. And we were so happy to hold it up to the 1T pledge, because you can't just solve for things in one city or one region.
To think that there would be over 4 million trees planted in Houston by 2030, that's like a dream come true. I know, especially for someone like myself or Ms. Barbara, that's a part of this work. It's being heard that it is a priority and a need for us to plant trees for the quality of life, not only for us right now, but ultimately it's an investment in future generations.